Hi, it's Catherine from Life with Confidence. I'm here with another quick tip for you, and today's topic is on how to deal with feeling overwhelmed, something I know a lot of people are dealing with right now. So I wanted to share with you a strategy you can put in place, which hopefully will help prevent a lot of that overwhelm from ever even starting. So I'm excited to share this with you, so let's get started. First, let me give you a quick little backstory. I'm new to making these presentations and these quick tips, so I decided to find some books and do some research on what's the best way to do them. So I got more and more books, and I was really beginning to feel really overwhelmed because there's just so much information out there. And some say do this, and some say do that. And I was really beginning to feel like, wow, this is too much. I'm not going to be able to do this. But then I came across this book called Steal the Show by Michael Port. And this was a really great little book. He's got a lot of life lessons in here, which are really valuable. It's not just about how to make a presentation. And one of the tips he provides, which I just love and I really want to share with you, is feeling overwhelmed is not necessarily a function of having too much to do, but rather not knowing what to do next. I mean, when you think about this, wow, that makes so much sense. We don't know what to do next. So that made me think, so why don't we know what to do next? And the answer is because we're too busy reacting to everything that's coming at us. If you think about it, there's so much all the time. Whether it's family, whether it's work, whether it's your friends, there's constant demands for your time and attention from all areas of your life. And the problem that's really happening here is if you're not clear on your own goals and what's important to you, you have no way of knowing what is the most important thing to do next. And quite likely, you've never taken the time to map out what you want from each area of your life. Instead, you're trying to please everybody, so all the requests are given basically the same priority. That's when things really start to feel overwhelming. So here's where having a strategy in place beforehand will really help with preventing a lot of this overwhelm from happening in the first place. So let's take a look at how to set up this strategy. So how do we go from overwhelmed to being zen in all our world? What's the path we need to take? And there are some definite steps that will really help us with this. Part of the problem with overwhelm is that we react instead of choosing how to respond. Choosing how to respond means taking a moment to make certain decisions about all those requests that are coming in for your time. You need to decide how that task fits into your priorities and where it's going to rank on your need to do list. That way, something that seems really important at first, you might be able to do it later, or after thinking about it, you might realize you really don't need to do it at all, or it can be delegated to someone else. So you'll be able to make far better decisions if you choose rather than blindly react and just automatically keep adding more and more to your list. But the thing is, you won't be able to make these decisions until you've done some work beforehand. The first part of your strategy should be to take the time to create a vision for the life you want to live. You need to know what is your objective, or in other words, what are you trying to achieve and why? Where are you wanting your life to end up? And you'll need to do this for each area of your life. Each one of us is involved in a number of different worlds, if you want to see it like that. You have your family, you have your work, you have your friends, you have social responsibilities, and for each one, you'll have a very different vision of what you want to achieve. And just to be clear here, this doesn't need to be major like you're going to figure out world peace. No, this is simply what is important for you to achieve in each area of your life. And this is so important to do because if you don't, then it means you're going to end up helping everyone else with their priorities and goals and never achieve your own dreams. It's how we end up overwhelmed because we forget what's important to us and get caught up in only reacting to everyone else and their needs. And here's the tip. When you make your vision, Be specific. Don't say, I want to be a good friend, for example. Let's just make it a really, really simple example here. You need to know what it means specifically that you're going to be doing. So if you want to be a good friend, what exactly does that mean? What are you going to do? Are you going to call your friend once a month? Are you going to meet up with your friends every week? How will you know if you're being successful or not with your vision? So that's why you need to be specific, because you're trying to determine what exactly you have to do for that. And by doing that, you'll also be much clearer in knowing what you need to do to achieve your vision. After you've created your vision, you now need to know your motivation. So you really need to know, why do you want to achieve this vision that you have for each area of your life? Why do you want this life? What will it mean to you? For example, will it mean freedom for you? And to be clear, this isn't because it will make so-and-so happy. It's not to make your parents happy. It's not to make your friends happy. This is what is going to make you happy. So it needs to be really deeply personal to you. And in the book, he says you have to dig deep until you find the root of your need or desire, because then you'll unleash a motivation so compelling, you'll do everything in your power to pursue it. And it also means you'll let go of doing the unimportant things that take your time, but don't lead you in the direction you really want to go. So even just that will help you with dealing with overwhelm, because you're being much more clear about how you want to spend your time. Okay, you now have a clear vision and a strong motivation. Excellent, excellent job you've done. I know this takes time, but it's going to be so worth it, and it's going to make such a difference for you. And here's one more benefit to going through this exercise. You're going to be able to let go of a lot of emotional baggage. Emotion baggage are the negative emotions that happen when you get into a state of overwhelm, and they really do interfere with you making good decisions for yourself. And I know as soon as I get into a state of overwhelm, these emotions are going to be there. And if you can have a clear objective and you know your motivation, you're really going to be able to avoid these. The emotions are fear. Oh, such a big one. You're suddenly afraid you're not going to be able to get it all done. You're going to upset people, you're going to fail, just bad things are going to happen because you have too much to do. And the next emotion that happens is anger. You feel really angry that all this stuff has been thrown at you, and most likely you feel that no one is there to help you. You've just had all this stuff thrown at you. And the last one is resentment. You really start to resent that all this stuff has been given to you to do and you don't have any help. So these three emotions really do interfere with you making good choices for yourself. So this is a huge benefit to knowing your objective and your motivation. So let's go back to the path. The next step of your strategy is to plan your route. You need to have a basic idea of what tasks you need to do to achieve your life vision. And this is going to be quite obvious to you because you already have the vision, you know your motivation. So this isn't going to be probably a huge task for you, but it will be helpful to be more clear about what exactly you need to do. And another really good thing about doing this is you're going to be able to let go of a lot of distractions. And the world is truly full of distractions right now. Everything from Instagram and Netflix and your email. Wow, emails, right? But you're going to find you're far less interested in these things because you now have an objective, you have a motivation, and you have a plan. So you're going to be making really good choices about where you spend your time, which instantly leads to less overwhelm. The next part of the path is really just to show you the benefits of what happens if you keep reminding yourself of your vision and your motivation and you keep following your plan. And the result is that you develop a much deeper connection with your motivation. You'll be less likely to start going down a completely different path or to keep putting aside your priorities for others. You're also going to feel much more in control of your life, and you're going to stay calm and focused while keeping a steady pace towards achieving what you want. And you're going to find that you naturally keep following your path. You're not going to be dealing with procrastination as often, and it's going to become something you want to work on. And after you've been doing this for a while, guess what? You're going to achieve your goals with much less overwhelm because you know your purpose. You're going to be able to make clear decisions as to what's important and what isn't, and what needs to be done right now and what can be done later, or even delegated to someone else. Or you might even decide to eliminate a lot of stuff from your life. But the thing is, you've made yourself important and a priority to yourself rather than drifting through life or just reacting to everyone else's needs and letting them decide what's important to you. And you've done this simply by creating a strategy for yourself. So to recap, this comes directly from the book, Steal the Show. Having specific objectives and clear motivation means you know what you should not do, so you don't waste mental or physical energy. When we're doing too much at the office, in relationships, or on stage, it comes in part from not knowing what we want and where we're going. So this is really, really key, something really to think about when you're feeling overwhelmed. So now that you know what to do, let me share something to watch out for. And this is another quote from the book. Where so many go astray isn't so much in their lack of motivation. After all, we are all motivated in some way in every circumstance. The fault lies when our objective and our motivations are unclear, conflicting, or muddy because we haven't approached the question with a true, clear purpose. One of the examples he gives is when you agreed to take on the task, were you really focusing too much on what you think someone else wanted rather than what you want? And were you trying to please someone else or gain their approval? Because that just never works. So that's something to watch out for. I want to share this quote with you by Marcus Buckingham. Many of us feel stress and get overwhelmed, not because we're taking on too much, but because we're taking on too little of what really strengthens us. I think that's really important to remember. So if you want to keep this, I'm going to put it on my Pinterest account and also my Instagram account, but this is really important. Pay attention to what you're actually taking on. Is there a lot of stuff that you could actually let go of? So that's it for this time. Thank you so much. And once again, I'm Catherine from Life with Confidence, and stay tuned for another quick tip coming up soon. Thanks. Bye.